friends, this is the Words Their Way Syllables and Affixes, sort number 52 video. In this sort, we are looking at suffixes, ness, full, and less. Alright, you need to have your words already cut out because we are going to do this sort together, header by header or category by category. Get your words ready, have them out in front of you, and have your sorting mat from your book in front of you as well. Ready? Here we go. Alright, headers for this sort include ness, like darkness, full, like graceful, and less, like homeless. We also have a combination of suffixes, so like when you have care, you can add less and ness to make carelessness. Alright, make sure your words are cut out and you are ready to sort before starting the next part of this video. Alright, so the first category we have is ness, or N-E-S-S, such as the word darkness. Ness is a suffix, so that means it comes at the end of a root word. Suffixes change the meaning of words. The suffix ness means the state of being, and it also makes words into nouns. Alright, so underline the root word in each word. If the complete root word is not in the word, write it underneath your spelling word. For example, the root word of darkness is dark. Therefore, you should underline the word like this. Darkness, you should underline dark. And so also looking at the meaning here, state of being. So that just means like when there's darkness, it's the state of the room being dark. It's typically how you would use it. So it's the state of something being dark. If it's dark outside, you would say there is darkness right now, because it's the state or like what's happening at that moment. It's the condition that it's in right there. Also, now for example, if the root word of happiness, which is also one of your words, is happy, therefore you should underline the word like this. So you would underline H-A-P-P and leave the I-N-E-S-S alone. Then you would write happy underneath it. So underline as much of the word of the root word as you can, even if it's spelled a little bit different. Because you can't add N-E-S-S to a word that has a consonant and then a Y. You have to change that Y to an I. Alright, now try sorting your words now. Underline the root word in each word. Pause the video so you can sort your words and set them aside. Alright, next we have graceful, and that's for the category of full, F-U-L. Notice it's spelt a little bit different than the word full. F-U-L-L, full, is a suffix, so that means it comes at the end of a root word. Suffixes change the meaning of words. The suffix full means full of. So if you're graceful, then you're full of grace. Alright, underline the root word in each word. If the complete root word is not in the word, write it underneath your spelling word. For example, the root word is graceful. The root word of graceful is grace. Therefore, you should underline the word like this. So you would just underline grace, your root word, and graceful. Now, for example, if the root word is plentiful, or your root word of plentiful is plenty. So if your word is plentiful, your root word would be plenty. Therefore, you should underline the word like this. So you would underline P-L-E-N-T, and then write plenty underneath it. Again, because of that Y, you cannot add full. You can't add that suffix to the end of a word that has a consonant and then a Y. You have to change it to an I. Alright, now try sorting your words now. Underline the root word in each word. Pause the video so you can sort your words and set them aside. Alright, next we have less, such as the word homeless. Less is a suffix, so that means it comes at the end of a root word. Suffixes change the meaning of words. The suffix less means without. So if you're homeless, that means you're without a home. Underline the root word in each word. If the complete root word is not in the word, write it underneath your spelling word. Now, for example, the root word of homeless is home. Therefore, you should underline the word like this. Home, and then less. You would underline home. Now, for example, the root word of penniless is penny. Therefore, you should underline the word like this. You would underline P-E-N-N, and then leave the I, the L, the E, the S, and the S alone. Then you would write penny underneath it. And that's again following that rule about the Y at the end with the consonant. Now try sorting your words now. Underline the root word in each of those words. Pause the video so you can sort your words and set them aside. All right, and last we have the combination of suffixes, such as the word carelessness. Suffixes come at the end of a root word and can be combined with other suffixes or added to a word that already has a prefix. The meaning of carelessness would be in the state of being without care. So you would think of careless, that would be without care, and then ness, you would have the state of. And so if you are in the state of being without care, that means that at like that current moment, you don't have care. No one is taking care of you. Or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's like, it can also be used as like, I'm walking through the hallway and because of my carelessness, I ran into the wall. That means I'm not taking care of myself even. I'm not being careful to watch out for things. Suffixes do change the meaning of words, just like we talked about. Underline the root word in each of the words. If the complete root word is not in the word, write it underneath your spelling word, which it should not be the case for any of these words in this column. Every single one of these words in this column have the entire root word in it. Now, for example, the root word of carelessness is care. Therefore, you should underline the word like this. Carelessness. Leave the less and the ness alone. And I know this has been tricky before because some people may think that the root word is careless. It's not, because less is a suffix, or it's a suffix. So can you take off even more? Even though you already took off ness, think, can you take off even more? Could there potentially be another suffix in there? All right, now try sorting your words now. Underline the root word in each word. And then pause the video so you can sort your words and set them aside. All right, now that you've completed your sort, you should have sorted your words like this. In the column with ness, remember that ness means the state of being. So you have darkness, goodness, weakness, illness, kindness, happiness, and awareness. So that means like you are in the state of, or something is in the state of being dark. Something is in the state of being good. Something is in the state of being weak. You get the idea there. All right, the next column is full. And remember, pay attention to that spelling. One L when it's added to a word as a suffix. It means full of. So you have graceful, colorful, faithful, fearful, painful, dreadful, plentiful. And then our third category is less. That means without. You have homeless, hopeless, worthless, restless, harmless, penniless, and fearless. All right, and then you have the combination of suffixes. So when you're adding more than just one, you have carelessness, thankfulness, helplessness, thoughtfulness, peacefulness, gratefulness, truthfulness. And remember, when you add two on there, you have to consider the definitions or the meanings of each one of them. So let's look at helplessness. If you're using the word helplessness, that would mean that you are without help, but you're with the ness, you're now in the state of being without help. So if you're helpless, that's what I would use to describe somebody. You're without help. If you have helplessness, now it's a noun. So that's a thing. You do not have, or you have helplessness. That could be potentially a way that you would use it. All right, let's look at the next slide. And after you've completed your sort and double-checked it, please refer to the activities your teacher has you complete with your new sort. Don't forget to write your new sort in your agenda for this week. And you will glue words on Thursday because there will be a spelling test on Friday. Happy sorting, kids!